Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the newsletters from the past week in the hoscale community. We'll go ahead and jump right in, but before I do so, do me a favor and subscribe if you're new, if you enjoy, and like the video. Both are completely free and you can always change your mind. I wanted to start today's episode by featuring a different manufacturer here. As you can see, it's Class 1 Model Works, and they have pre-orders open currently for the second run of the Thrall 86-foot high-cube boxcars. So these look fantastic. You're going to want to get your orders in quick. This newsletter was from a little bit ago. They definitely are going quickly in pre-orders. Class 1 sent out a follow-up to this noting that the pre-orders are selling out. So if you're interested in these, if you have any of the first run, I'm not sure exactly how they compare, but they do look very good once again. I don't plan on pre-ordering any of these. They do look very nice though. So if you are interested, I think the 86-foot length is just a little bit too long for what I'm planning here with the layout I'm hoping to build here soon. But here's just a quick look at some of those schemes. They do look fantastic. They've got some great printing on here, and they've chosen some really good road names for this release. And then here's just a little bit at the end of this newsletter for them about some history if you're interested here. I'll give you a sec and you can pause it if you're interested. They've definitely done their research, which is what I do enjoy about these smaller manufacturers is they really put in the effort into all of their product releases. And now let's go ahead and jump over to the ScaleTrains newsletter for October here. ScaleTrain starts here talking about the limited supply of the operator reefer containers. And here's just a quick look at some of that they have in stock here. I haven't picked any up as I haven't gotten into intermodal yet, but eventually I will, and I'll probably be looking for these in a future run or on the secondhand market. There's a look if you're interested in picking up. They don't have a lot available. They got one in that road number left. So definitely get on it if you're interested. Then moving on here, the new release of the Gunderson covered hoppers. Just mentioned again, I did do a review that I'll link here in the top right hand corner of one of the hypotypical versions. It looks fantastic. I'm super happy with it. So I'm sure that the other paint schemes are just as well done. I did get the BNSF Great Northern Heritage there in the hypotypical schemes list. So I definitely recommend it if you're interested. You can check out my review of it if you're on the fence, but I'm very happy with my model. And then they also have the same release, but in the operator version, so missing some of the grab irons. I did a little side-by-side comparison of an older release operator in that comparison video with the hypotypical version that I just got. And then another release that was fantastic for ScaleTrains, the second run of the BNSF Trinity Reefers. Also did a video on these. I'm extremely happy with them. I like them better after a few weeks. I do like them better than the first run. I think they just perform a little bit better, and I think they look fantastic. So this image is incorrect. They do have the logo icicles instead of the roofline icicles featured here. But I did do a comparison as well. That video is linked in the top right if you're interested to see the differences between the first two runs and deeper thoughts that I have on that model. Then moving on, I'm sure you've heard about the museum quality SD45X. ScaleTrains put out a nice video about them. And here's just more information on them. The ScaleTrains website has most of them sold out. I was considering to pick up one, but the road number I wanted was out of stock. So maybe in the future, if they do another run, I'll pick one up. They've got some nice history here, and then the EMD demonstrator version as well. And then an N scale release here, the SD40T tunnel motors. I've got the HO version on order coming in like January, I think. That'll be two Rio Grande versions that I'll be able to show off. I'm very excited for those. The cool thing about ScaleTrains is that they have the fully hidden rear drivetrain in those radiator vents in the tunnel motor versions. Then a quick billing update on those. And then a couple new announcements here. We have an HO scale release, 48-foot coil cars. They come in many different variations here. They say 15 um, on the newsletter here. So both the hatches are different as well as the cars themselves. So there's a lot of variety if you're looking to pick them up. Here's a quick list of all of those paint schemes, which is ridiculous. So it's really cool that they're able to offer that much variety. So there's definitely something for you if you're interested. I do note that they have some of the previous release still in stock, and the new ones will be coming in summer 2025. And then another N-scale announcement, new SD40-2s. Some of those paint schemes here, got some BNSF and DM&E headlining here. And that about wraps up ScaleTrains. Let's go ahead and take a look at Athearn. All right, next up is Athearn here. Starts off with the HO and N-scale new version of the big boy, the Heartland of America Tour version. Looks fantastic in this picture here. And they have some pictures here, the Illinois version there that I saw in Rochelle with the Illinois flag. They do have the updated big boy logo as well as builder plates and the PTC array on this version. Broadway Limited is also coming out with a new version, the Heartland of America Tour version. So we'll be able to see how those compare once those both release. Then moving on, they have a new run of AC 4400 CWs, which is fantastic. They have a lot of different releases here with Prime for Grind BNSF versions. So if you're interested, I talked about that in the last newsletter. I don't want to go into it too much about the different paint schemes here. And then N-scale boxcars in stock. And the HO Canadian Tire containers. Those are pretty neat. I haven't seen those in real life, I don't think, but they do look very nice. And then just an update, check out their social media and such. And next up here, this is the Walthers newsletter. So, little manufacturer spotlight here on some of the die cast cars here. Looking pretty neat, both HO and N scale. And an interesting update here, a new manual uncoupler from Walthers Controls, which is pretty sweet. So that'll help you out in yards or things like that where you're wanting to uncouple in that way. And Walthers is having a fall sale from the manufacturer. They're highlighting here the 73-foot Bud baggage car in the Amtrak scheme, looking pretty nice. Walthers Proto cars are some of the best passenger cars you can buy. And of course the Rapido Class H1A and H1B Hudsons, the 2816 of course being the one that took the tour from Canada to Mexico and back, so they're offering that excursion version in a fancy wooden box. So those have sold out pretty quick, but definitely try to find one of those if they're interested. And then the Bowser Elko RS3 here as well. So an interesting thing about Walthers is they tend to sell a lot of different manufacturers like Bowser and Rapido and such on their own manufacturer's website. And I haven't seen any other manufacturer do that, so it's just a neat thing that Walthers does. I'm not sure if the deals are any better than buying directly from the other manufacturers, but overall it's generally better, at least with these products, to buy from your local hobby shop because they'll have a better discount. But that'll wrap up the Walthers newsletter here. And then wrapping up for newsletters, we have the Atlas Insider Info talking about the HO single door boxcar. I'm not sure why the Atlas emails look the way they do. They're not exactly centered, but sorry about that. I hope it doesn't look too bad. But looking here, we do have a lot of the road names here in the release. Lots of variety here, a bunch of different colors. So if you're interested in those, Atlas products are usually pretty good. And then just a note about their rail bucks. All right, and then just jumping back over to ScaleTrains here to finish out the last section here I wanted to talk about. I was looking at the GP40s upcoming release that are coming out or currently scheduled for a delivery of November 30th. So they'd arrive at a hobby shop mid-December. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to pick one of these up. The hard part is that, say at Lombard Hobbies, an Atlas GP40 sells for pretty much right on $200. And these new ScaleTrains GP40s are selling for $300. So I'm trying to figure out if that's worth it, if it's worth $100 more or another 1/3 of the price increase um, to pick one of these up. The ones I'd be looking at are the Milwaukee Road version here, which looks nice. I think it looks fantastic. The Rio Grande version, but I don't know if I need that since I have the tunnel motors coming. And then the Chicago Northwestern, because I just love that paint scheme and I don't own any yet. So drop me a comment if you already have a pre-order for one of these in and kind of why you picked it, because I'm just trying to figure out how to justify that extra $100 for a model that doesn't look too different besides your ScaleTrains features, such as like you get the coupler and the rust painted wheels and probably a little better sound quality than an Atlas model. They're both equipped with Lock Sound 5, so that's not really an issue. Um, and that's just the decision I have to make, I suppose. And I didn't want to leave without mentioning a new teaser for a model that Rapido dropped. This is probably the P32 for Metro North here, so that's pretty exciting. Nice to see them branching out into new models, and they're doing a ton of commuter schemes recently with the Bud Gallery cars coming out soon. Super excited for those as well. But Rapido's doing a great job so far. With that, I think I'll wrap up our chat here today. Do me a favor, and if you're new, subscribe if you made it this far, like the video if you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks for watching.